Stadium filled to capacity for today's game in the AFC West, featuring the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Great to have you with us. Kevin Harlan alongside Randy Cross. And Randy, firmly in the spotlight today, both teams' quarterbacks.
Right, and you have to say this about the two quarterbacks. First, Gus Frerotte, you have to keep the thing going for the Broncos. They're off to a good roll offensively. Elvis, you had a good year last year. You had a good week last week. See if you can build on it.
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos next on CBS. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Kevin Harlan alongside Randy Cross. Beasley Reese is on the sideline. The weather today, 36 degrees right now. And they are expecting snow. They had snowfall last night in Denver. Joe Nedney is set to kick off for the Broncos. And we are underway. Deep back Mike Cloud and Dante Hall, a rookie, who is making his first NFL appearance, and will fair catch it 8 yards deep in the end zone. And downstairs we go to Beasley Reese.
Hey guys, despite 2 days of snow and light rain here in the Denver area, the surface at Mile High is perfect. No problems with traction. One poor guy did have to clean up after the Bronco, though, the mascot. I don't think I need to go into any details. Kansas City makes a major change for the first time since 1988. They are going with the red pants. See how you like it. Back upstairs.
They begin from their own 20-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go with Elvis Grbac under center. And right to work with a good block from Richardson. Down the sideline for Alexander, incomplete with the coverage applied by Ray Crockett. It'll be second down and 10. Elvis Grbac coming off a career day with 5 touchdown passes last week, the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And Kevin, that first play perfectly fits the MO of the Kansas City Chiefs. They want to stress the team down the field. They want to run short crossing patterns, and they want to pound the ball. No matter which one of these 87 running backs it seems they use, they want to pound the ball.
You think they've got the running backs to do it?
They don't have any good running backs. That's why they use a lot of them.
Second down and 10. Alexander on the move. Fake to Richardson. Rolling is Grbac. He's being chased by Crockett, and the pass downfield is caught at about the 35-yard line by tight end Tony Gonzalez. Picks up 15 in a Kansas City first down. Kansas City's offense with the line of Tate, Blackshear, Grunhard, Will Shields, and Victor Riley. Tony Richardson just caught the pass. Cloud in the backfield starting with him. Alexander and Sylvester Morris, the wide receivers, and the tight end is Tony Gonzalez. On the 35, first down and 10 for Kansas City. And the handoff to Richardson, who is wrapped up and taken down. Ma'a Tanavasa was there with one hit, along with John Mobley. And now the Denver Bronco defense, as you take a look at Bill Romanowski on the line. Tanavasa just with the tackle with Traylor, the former Kansas City Chief. Trevor Price, a great defensive tackle, and Kavika Pittman. Linebackers, Wilson in the middle, flanked by John Mobley on one side and Bill Romanowski on the other. And the corners, Crockett and Terrell Buckley, and the safeties, Eric Brown and Billy Jenkins.
Bill Romanowski is the best barometer to how ready this Denver defense is.
Second and 10. Another first down pass to Tony Gonzalez out of the 49. It's a gain of 14. The tackle is made by Al Wilson.
I think one of the misconceptions out there, Kevin, is people think that you build football teams to win the AFC or to win the NFC. Teams build football teams to win their divisions. And Kansas City is putting a team together, and Guthrie Cunningham is part of that, to beat the Broncos. And by beating the Broncos, they're trying to be the Broncos. They want the short passing game. They want the running game, just like Denver does.
First and 10 from the 49. Good block by Blackshear and a pass caught by Gonzalez again. Another first down grab, this time good for 15 yards. Tackle made by Eric Brown. And the Chiefs are going to their tight end.
Well, Gonzalez came into the game with only 8 catches, already got a couple here early, but here are the headlines for Kansas City and what they really need to see and what they really need to do. Running back by committee, I hate it, but they got to do it. Elvis is in the building. He's got to be a factor throwing the ball. So far, he has been. They got to stop whoever's running the ball for Denver, and they got to play Gunther ball, and that's ground control and turnovers.
Richardson is stood up and taken down by Ma'a Tanavasa. And a loss back to the Denver Bronco 38.
For all the talk about the Denver offensive line and how light they are and how quick they are and how good they are, you got to love the defensive front seven of Denver because they do this fantastic. Look at Tanavasa inside the attempted block down by Gonzalez, and you can't block Tanavasa, that defensive end, as quick as he is, with a tight end coming in motion like that. You just scratch that play from your playbook.
Second down, 14 inside the 39. Back again to the air, and with great time to throw, and he hits his running back, Tony Richardson, belted out of bounds by middle linebacker Al Wilson, a gain of 8 yards there. And close to a first down.
You know, Kevin, if I'm Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator for Denver, I'm almost feeling right now, I want to go back to practice, to training camp when it used to be ones against ones, when it was Denver's offense against Denver's defense. What did I do to stop that style of an offense? Because right now, Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator of Kansas City, and the Chiefs are giving the Denver Broncos exactly what gives defenses so much of a bad time from the Denver Broncos offense.
Moreau in the backfield, third down and 1. Moreau with the lead block from Richardson, and a good block it was on Brown, and a first down by Kansas City. Brown was blocked by Richardson. The rookie Moreau gets the first down. Wilson the tackle after a gain of 5.
Just good physical offense by Kansas City going right after Greg Robinson's defense, especially the front seven. Watch the left side and the movement that way. See the fold, see the corner all of a sudden appear. The lead block is wonderful, but the offensive line just caused a lever back, almost a swinging gate door on that side of the defense.
Opening drive of the game. 9th play coming up from the Denver 21, first and 10. Gerback throws, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line, and the tight end has it again. Tony Gonzalez, a gain of 14 yards on the play. He has authored this drive for the Chiefs, 4 catches and 60 yards.
And you know what a lot of this is setting up, and the reason you're seeing so much Tony Gonzalez early, A, they can. B, Sylvester Harris and Alexander on the outside are going to be open if Denver reacts to the inside passing game with the tight end. They're getting that right now because they're concentrating on the outside receivers, and they'll take that from Gonzalez as long as Denver gives it to him.
2 tight ends, 1 running back, Richardson. Hand off to Richardson, a block by Shields. Inside the 5 and down near the 1 on first and goal. Eric Brown, the tackle.
That's mush ball. I mean, that's not even a lot of different things. That's making the guys in blue go this way. Watch the offensive line. Stay on the blocks and push. Blackshear does a nice job, gets contact, so does Grunhard. That wasn't pretty. That was just sort of mushy.
But that's exactly what Cunningham wants to do.
Exactly. That's Gunther ball. You run the ball, you pound him, you get turnovers on defense.
Second down and goal. And it is. They have not signaled yet a touchdown. No word yet from the official. Moreau in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run.
Hey, that was almost a page out of our colleague Marcus Allen's book. When you're going for an end zone and you're going for a touchdown, watch how low, down along the grass tops, that Moreau gets. He lowers his head, he pushes. Nice job by Will Shields. Excellent job by Grunhard.
It was Richardson.
Right back there. And look at Richardson just bury himself in there. That's how Marcus used to do it for the Chiefs.
And Stoyanovich with the extra point is up and in. And so the Kansas City Chiefs on the game-opening drive with a long drive, which began back inside their 20-yard line. 11 plays, 80 yards, almost 6 minutes on the clock, and Richardson punches it in, and the Chiefs lead the Denver Broncos 7-0. Broncos in first place in the AFC West for the first time since the retirement of John Elway.
And really, for this organization in Kansas City, it is critical they keep Denver and Oakland within view. They got to keep the taillights at least where they can see them. Because if they start pulling away from Gunther Cunningham's team, you know, much like in a football game, this is not, I don't think, a catch-up type team. This is not a team that is going to make up a 3, 4, 5 game pad. They've got to start winning these games now and keeping up with Mike Shanahan and the Broncos. Because make no mistake, Shanahan and the Broncos are the team to beat in this division. You can get excited all you want about the Raiders. Denver is back.
Ryan Greasy is the third quarterback today, and he is the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL, so he will not be starting, and Gus Frerotte will. We'll talk about him as we set the kickoff for Kansas City. Todd Sauerbrunn with the boot. And Chris Cole will get it 3 yards deep in the end zone and take it out for Denver. Breaks a tackle of Maslowski. Pat Dennis trips him up, and down he goes at the 32-yard line. Andre O'Neal was there. A flag is down at the 27. As it stands now, a 36-yard return.
It's going to be a hold against Denver. It's going to come back.
Tom White is our official today, our referee here in Denver.
26.
And it's a penalty on Eric Brown, 26 on the return team for the Denver Broncos.
Holding number 26 during the return. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Gus Frerotte was a backup last year with Detroit. Started late in the season when Charlie Batch broke his thumb.
And the great thing to watch here early in the game, just a unique matchup. Denver has scored all 3 times on the first drive of the game. They scored a touchdown. And nobody in the business is better than the Kansas City defense early in the game of taking away the football by interception or by fumble.
On the 17, first and 10, Frerotte gives out to Mike Anderson, who breaks one tackle and is brought down by James Hasty after a gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7 as we send you to New York and Jim Nance.
Well, this time the Steelers got the field goal unit on the field in time. 50-yard kick, Chris Brown to send it to overtime against Tennessee, and the Steeler kicker comes up short. Tennessee advances to 2-1. Pittsburgh winless, now 0-3. Let's go back to Kevin and Randy.
Thank you, Jim. And that, of course, came on the heels of Steve McNair being called off the bench to throw a touchdown pass to take a lead. And on second down and 7 yards to go, it's a gain of 1. Jones, Schlereth, Nalen, Neal, and Matt Lepsis on the offensive line for the Denver Broncos. In the backfield, Mike Anderson, along with Howard Griffith, Rod Smith, and Ed McCaffrey, the wide receivers. And the tight end is Dwayne Carswell.
And folks, you're getting to watch the best offensive line in professional football right here.
On the 21, third down and 6 with McCaffrey on the move. And Frerotte with time throws a first down pass caught by Rod Smith, who is taken down from behind by Lou Bush and Donnie Edwards after a gain of 23. There was a penalty flag, and it was thrown on Kansas City, and offsides was the call.
Yeah, they reacted to the bark of Frerotte, and it was a mainstay of this offense. You get yards after the catch.
First down.
After the 23-yard gain, deleted. Opening drive of the game, Kansas City's coach Gunther Cunningham saw Tony Richardson pound it in from a yard away on a long drive, which gave the Chiefs initial 7-0 lead. Denver now with it for the first time. A 23-yard pass moments ago to Rod Smith. First down and 10. Gus Frerotte goes across the middle and caught by running back sensation Mike Anderson, a rookie, and he picks up 8. Frerotte starting today for the injured Brian Greasy, the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL. On the Chiefs defensive line, Hicks, McLaughlin, Williams, and John Browning. In the linebacking core, Marcus Patton with Lou Bush on one side, the ex-Charger, and Donnie Edwards on the other. Dennis, Woods, Wesley, and Hasty in the secondary. Kansas City starting 2 rookies in the defensive backfield. Second down 2 from the Chiefs 48. Anderson again, massive hole. And tackled by Wesley at the 35 after a first down run of 12 yards.
The reason this offensive line is so good is they keep contact. Watch the lane that opens up right here, but look at the contact on the defensive players on this right side. Watch Lepsis, watch Carswell. Look at the right guard, Neal, goes off the block, gets a cut. That's textbook. Their offensive line coach, Alex Gibbs, has this offensive line so well drilled, they are a nightmare to try to defend.
And from the Chiefs, 36, first and 10. Anderson again. Brought down by Browning and Williams after a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 8. We've talked about the Denver offensive line. Not a single starter over 300 pounds.
Well, look at this. The biggest, Buffalo and Cincinnati, 342. The smallest, by a lot, Denver, 287 pounds. But it's not, people miss the point. Just because you're big doesn't mean you're good. And if you're running this style of offense, you have to have this style of offensive line that is smart, that can move, and that is coachable.
2nd down 9. Play action by Farrat. Good block by Anderson. Farrat being chased. And out of bounds he goes. Browning was on his heels. He's out of bounds after a 1st down run of 11 yards. Inside the Kansas City 23 as the Jets and Buccaneers are just underway down in Tampa.
Well, any questions right now from this Denver offense as to whether or not they're going to run the whole playbook with Gus Farrat at quarterback? They're doing a little bit of everything.
This is a veteran. I mean, Farrat has started 52 games in his career.
Well, how about the look he gave us yesterday when I asked him about, adjusting while you're scrambling and running for time? How do your receivers really adjust? He goes, me running for time? He says, I drop back and throw. I'm not a runner. Gus, you lied.
1st down, 8th play of the drive from the Kansas City 23 for Denver. Play action by Farrat. He's being chased by Eric Hicks and wisely throws it away. Hicks is all over him. Hicks recorded 2 sacks last week against San Diego.
And this is a defense extremely hard on quarterbacks so far this year. Everybody has seen that fabulous hit that Clemens put on McNair earlier in the year. And last week it was Moses Moreno. They knocked him out of the game. So this is something that Mike Shanahan and his staff have got to be very aware of. The Denver offensive line is acutely aware of keeping Gus Farrat healthy. Because remember, Jarius Jackson is the backup quarterback, and he's got about 15 plays in his playbook.
Ransom and Martin have come out on the Chiefs' defensive line. 2nd down and 10. Denver at the 23. Anderson again, swerving around and shooting right through. Donnie Anderson got him around the ankles after a gain of 2. Well, the Chiefs have had some pretty interesting defensive hits over the last couple weeks. Like the aforementioned hit by Clemens on McNair.
Anybody that's ever played football, you smile when you see that hit, the way McNair got hit. It's just one of those things. But when we talked to Donnie Edwards, I asked him, well, what's the idea? What's the deal, Donnie? I mean, you got 2 quarterbacks in a row. And he kind of smiled and looked at us and said, well, that's the idea, isn't it?
3rd down and 8 from the Kansas City 21 for the Broncos. Here comes the blitz by Hasty, and a pass is caught by tight end Dwayne Carswell for a 1st down inside the Kansas City 10. It's a gain of 14 yards on 3rd down and 8. Tackle made by rookie Pat Dennis. 1st and goal, Denver.
Yesterday morning, Gus Farrat said that the reason he loves this offense so much are the options. Not so much always the options of a audible, but the options receiver-wise. You've got the backs. You've got the wide receivers. You have the tight ends. Mike Shanahan gives you all the tools to be successful. And so far, Gus Farrat is successfully laying another scoring drive for the Broncos.
1st and goal from the 6 for Farrat. And Anderson gets the call. And brought down just inside the 5-yard line after a gain of 2 by rookie Greg Wesley. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, what a great story that this kid, Mike Anderson, is. I mean, he's just turned 27 on Thursday, but he has something in common with Terrell Davis and with Olandis Gary that I think is very obvious, and it's not their background so much, and it's not their size. What they have in common is when they get the ball, they run straight ahead. If you're a good running back and you're a young running back out there wanting to learn, watch these guys run with the ball.
2nd down and goal at the 4. Here comes Anderson. Brought down again by Kansas City's defense. Donnie Edwards got in there to get a hand on Anderson. Remember now that in every game this season, the Broncos have opened up the game with a touchdown.
Yeah, and what the key to stopping these guys, Kevin, and stopping a touchdown drive is stuff these guys up front. Look at the defense. They're adjusting. They're in a slant. Donnie Edwards is there. He fills into the hole. Marcus Patton is in the hole. That's what you do. You move on this team. You fill the gaps, and you don't give them the cutback.
3rd down and goal at the 4. Denver has converted both 3rd downs today. Time for Farrat. Throws outside, looking for the fullback Griffith, incomplete. And he had pressure up the middle from Eric Hicks.
Yeah, actually thrown just a freckle earlier, and maybe a Greasy that's more experienced in this offense has that completion. Griffith was open.
Flag on Denver. Broncos come in 2-1. Kansas City comes in 1 up and 2 down. After week 4 a season ago, the Broncos were 0-4 last year in the first year without Elway. And again, our referee, Tom White. I've already signaled this is on the Denver Broncos.
Pass interference. Number 80. Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Rod Smith is number 80, the wide receiver.
You love hearing that great audio, too. You can hear the official screaming. Did you hear that? The K ball, the K. Every special teams coach in the league hates to hear those words. Because a lot of the blame for special teams, missed field goals, kickoff returns, everything is being blamed on these kicking balls that haven't been touched and the teams haven't had a chance to doctor.
So Kansas City's defense, a moral victory of sorts, holding Denver to a field goal try. A 22-yarder by Joe Nedley is up and in. And he's pretty automatic inside 40 yards, not missing since 1996. So both teams on their opening drives have scored today. Broncos just went 14 plays and 79 yards and got a 22-yard field goal. Chiefs lead on a 1-yard touchdown run by Tony Richardson. It's 7-3 Kansas City as you take a look at rookie Dante Hall. In his NFL debut today, he was hurt in preseason, missed the first 3 weeks with a back injury. But he's in today returning kicks. And Nedney's boot. Up into that bright Colorado sun. And out of the end zone comes Hall. With the block from Mike Cloud, there goes a flag. And Hall is up to about the 20, just shy of the 20-yard line. 2 flags now thrown on the field. One came in, then about 3 seconds later, another.
It's going to be holding against Kansas City. So far, you've seen some coverage teams from Denver very, very motivated against Gunther Cunningham's return teams, and rightfully so, because Denver's special teams have really stunk so far in the first 3 games.
Number 27, during the return, will be half the distance to the goal. Will be a first down for Kansas City. Timeout.
The special teams of Denver have allowed 3 touchdowns in 3 games. That is a concern for the Broncos. Penalty on the kickoff will maroon the Chiefs back at their 9. They've got it first down and 10. And it's a handoff to Mike Cloud, who's out past the 10-yard line and brought down by Eric Brown, number 26, on a gain of about a yard. Kansas City leads on a 1-yard touchdown run by Richardson. Cloud getting the start, second-year player. You know, everyone talks, Randy, about the altitude here, but you have a different take on it.
I think the key is surviving the first 20 minutes here in Mile High, and I don't mean the first quarter in 5 minutes. I mean literally the first 20 minutes. This crowd is like an extension to the team. It's like a living thing on the field.
Mike Cloud is grabbed by Traylor and brought down. After a gain of 2, Keith Traylor, number 94 for the Denver defense, a former Kansas City Chief and Green Bay Packer.
Sort of following that up, Kevin, I mean, this defense for Denver thrives off this crowd. The offense does a lot too, but this defense really thrives off this crowd. They can get an offense in the hole, the noise starts going, you can't audible, your snap counts are tough. Look at them waving at the crowd, and here they come.
Down to 13, 3rd down and 6. They're back. Throwing the pass, caught for a first down by Derek Alexander out to the 22-yard line. Brought down by linebacker John Mobley. It's a gain of 9 on 3rd and 6. Let's check downstairs with Beasley Reese.
Hey guys, Elvis Gerback told me that it's special coming to Mile High. He said it can snow, rain, sleet, and then get hot all in the same quarter, and that's what we've seen here. Now it's a brilliant sun and a beautiful day at Mile High. Back upstairs.
And this is the 40th and final visit for the Chiefs to Mile High Stadium. Good first quarter for Gerback so far. Tony Gonzalez caught 4 passes on the opening drive. The Chiefs lead at 7-3, and that's the end of the first quarter. We'll return to Denver's Mile High Stadium right after this message. We begin the second quarter. Kansas City swept the season series from the Denver Broncos a season ago. Kevin Harlan, Randy Cross, beats Louise. First down and 10 for the Chiefs. After 22, Gerback has hit his last 6 consecutive passes. Goes to his second option. It was picked off and dropped by Al Wilson, incomplete on a pass intended for running back Tony Richardson. Wilson had it and dropped it. And the ruling it incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
That's kind of interesting. It looked like he had the ball, came down, and then dropped it. I mean, great protection. Al Wilson just makes an excellent play on Elvis Gerbach's kind of dump-off option there to Richardson. Does he have it? He had it, hit the official, and then the ball came out. Might not be a bad time to burn a replay.
Inside the 22, second down and 10. And this is the rookie, Frank Moreau, hopping over one defender, Wilson, and then finally whacked by Billy Jenkins.
One more time. Let's take a look at Al Wilson. The feet, the hands. Does he have it over the top? He's got the ball. He's got the ball, and he runs into the umpire, and the ball comes out. I think Elvis got lucky there. Al Wilson looks like he had himself an interception for the third time this year.
Now 6 defensive backs for the Denver Broncos. Third down and 8 for Kansas City, shy of the 25. And Gerback with Richardson in. The throw across and scooped up by Gonzalez, but shy of the first down. The catch is made after a gain of 3 up to the 27-yard line. Tackle is made by linebacker John Mobley, and Kansas City's got a punt for the first time today. That is the 5th catch for Gonzalez today. Don't wait. Get up to the minute results on all Olympic events and complete standings with the Medal Tracker. All on cbs.sportsline.com.
And next week, when you check your sportsline.com stats for Tony Gonzalez, you're going to see he had a 3-game total so far in this first half, it seems.
Sauerbrunn gets it off to the rookie, Delta O'Neal. Takes it up the sideline, gets a block from Cottrez, and is finally brought down by Larry Atkins. That's a 59-yard punt and a 24-yard return. You take a look at tight end Tony Gonzalez. State Capitol, and that was a shot taken this morning after about an inch or two fell here in Denver, and that is exactly, as you see the steps of the Capitol, 1 mile above sea level. The Richardson 1-yard touchdown run for the Chiefs. They lead at 7-3 on the 38, first and 10, and Terrell Davis is in the game for the Denver Broncos. From the 38, Desperate taking the place of Brian Greasy. Here comes the rush and the pass, caught by Rod Smith. It's a first down grab. He's by midfield, a gain of 15. Down to the Kansas City 47-yard line. The tackle is made by Marcus Patton.
And a great idea by Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator of the Broncos. You put Terrell Davis in the game, you get him a little bit of action live, and what do? Defense worries about Terrell Davis. You throw the ball down the field.
You'd expect a lot of play action with Davis in there.
Absolutely. I think a lot of passing period. You don't want to pound him. He's not that healthy. And it gives the defense that big thing to think about.
First down from the Kansas City 48. Here comes Davis, a block by Jones. There's the hole, a block by Griffith, and there he goes. Out of bounds at the 25. 24-yard run by the 1998 NFL MVP.
Can you say seal and get the corner? There's the seal. Tony Jones, great block. Dwayne Quarswell, great block. Well, what do you say? Terrell Davis, about as good as there is right now, as long as he's healthy. And if that's him limping, scary to think of what he's like when he's full speed, isn't it?
He's missed 2 consecutive games. At the 24, Kansas City, first and 10 for Rock, the fake to Davis. And looking for McCaffrey, broken up beautifully on the play by Woods. Jerome Woods, a 4-year starter, breaks it up, second down and 10.
Perfect example of what we were just talking about. The play action, the fake to Terrell Davis. And what are they going for? They're trying to get the ball down the field, just a little more air and a little more touch. And McCaffrey's got this, and it sets up that play action just like they want it. But good anticipation coming from the backside by Woods right there. But I love the play calling by Gary Kubiak of Denver.
And he is calling all the plays now. Second down and 10 from the 24. Williams may have been offside. There go the flags, and there go the handoff with no gain on the play for Terrell Davis. He was brought down by Browning. Williams, I think, jumped number 92 on the defensive line for Kansas City.
Well, the old saying, his bark is worse than his bite. For Gus Frerotte in his defense right now, his bark is his bite. He's getting these guys to jump hard on the vocal.
What would they tell you in the huddle?
Offsides, nose tackle, defense, it's a 5-yard penalty, second down.
In the defensive huddle, it's don't jump, watch the ball. The offensive huddle, they're going to say it's on 2, I'm going to hit it hard on 1.
Coming up, the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Jim Nance, Mike Ditka, Craig James, and Jerry Glanville, all from New York. Second down and 5. Shy of the Kansas City 19. Davis is still in, and he gets the pitch. And he gets a nice lead block on the play by Lepsis. He picks up a first down, and finally he is taken down at the Kansas City 10-yard line by rookie Pat Dennis.
When you see Terrell Davis starting to run this again, that means the speed's coming back. Watch Matt Lepsis and the job he does coming out and pulling. This is just a pure weak side quick flip. You got a block down by McCaffrey, a block out and a cut block on Hasty by Lepsis. Nobody else in the league runs this as effectively as Denver. A lot of teams like Oakland have ripped the play off, but no one runs it better than Denver.
Lepsis, a former college tight end, first and goal, just inside the 10. Davis again, a block from Griffith. He tries to inside, and he's brought down by Browning. Looks like Marvcus Patton is in there as well.
You know, we're talking about the coordination of the Denver offensive line. Play you just saw there is a nice example of Kansas City's defense moving along the line of scrimmage and not giving the running back anywhere to go. No cutback, no holes onside.
Face mask just called on the Chiefs.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 75, defense, that's half the distance to the goal, and an automatic first down.
Justin McLaughlin.
We were talking about Gary Kubiak calling the plays, the offensive coordinator. That title was sort of the last thing missing from his resume, as you know, calling the plays. Gary Kubiak right there with the glasses and the headset on isn't long for Denver. Either this next season or the year after that, he's going to be a head coach somewhere else. He is high quality.
Mike Anderson is in. He gets the call on first and goal at the 5, and then he is drilled as he was going up the middle for a gain of 4 by Greg Wesley.
Watch how aggressive Mike Anderson is. Sort of a sprint draw action. See, there's no hesitancy there. You know, if you're a young back, is he looking for a hole? Is he looking to make a cut? He's looking to get the ball, and he's looking to put it in the end zone and waste as little time and energy in between as possible.
Former Marine Mike Anderson, who didn't play high school football, grew up in South Carolina, played instead in the high school band. Second and goal at the 1, 7th play for the Broncos.
Who's that high school football coach?
Anderson again, knocked down with a beautiful play by Maslowski and Bush. Mike Maslowski, number 57, normally a great special teams player and a former Arena League player with the stop.
You want the running back going this way. If you're the defense and you have him going that way, perfect. Look at Anderson. He's not running north and south. He's sort of heading a little northwest. Northwest is perfect to be picked off. Nice defense.
And Denver's going to burn one of their timeouts as Gus Frerotte is effortlessly taking his team downfield. Tony Richardson touchdown for the Chiefs on the game-opening drive. Denver got a 22-yard field goal from Nedney. Now 3rd and goal. Denver at the Kansas City 2. Davis is in the game. Carswell, the tight end in motion with the lead block, and he is brought down immediately. Davis with no gain on the play, and Steve Martin, number 90, makes the grab.
Good physical defense up front for the Kansas City Chiefs, all the way across. Martin, McLaughlin, the whole group. They just stuffed the Denver line. They tried to give him the motion, tried to give him the formation, tried to give him the motion with Carswell chopping. They weren't buying, and White wasn't buying that chop down block by Carswell.
So the second time for the Kansas City defense that they've got Denver goal to go, and they hold them to a 3-point try.
Just like the Rams, anytime you don't have these guys scoring touchdowns, a big victory.
20-yard field goal there by Joe Nedney is up and in. So the Chiefs defense has come to play. Denver's moving at will, but still it's Kansas City 7-3. Denver's had it twice, goal to go. They haven't got it in for a touchdown. And Monday on CBS, the final week of Big Brother is here. Only 4 guests remain, and one will walk away with $500,000. Who will be nominated for banishment next? Monday on CBS, Big Brother. Joe Nedney will kick off for the Broncos, taking the place of Jason Elam, who is out with 2 broken bones in his lower back. Suffered that week 1. And Nedney's boot taken by rookie Dante Hall. They'll take it out after a hesitation. 4 yards deep in the end zone. A block from Mike Cloud. There goes a flag. And he is taken down by Darryl Pounds along with Keith Burns. Burns was signed this week to shore up a lot of the special teams problems for Denver.
Well, Hall taking that ball out is not exactly a way to ensure you may be active again anytime soon. Not a good decision. And on top of that, you get a holding penalty against the return team to back Elvis Grbac in this offense even further up for Gunther Cunningham.
Holding, number 56, during the return, we have the distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
4 Kansas City penalties, 2 on the special teams, and that is a problem. And there's the coach of the special teams, Mike Stock. Kevin Harlan, Randy Cross, Beasley Reese here in Denver, where they were expecting snow. They got it last night, but not today. On the 8-yard line, the Chiefs, after a penalty on the return, first down and 10 yards to go. And the handoff. Frank Moreau, the rookie, picks up a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
They brought a veteran back, Keith Burns, 55 for special teams coverage. Look at that, he's pushing the back. He makes the flip, he gets up, and he makes the tackle. That's the kind of coverage and the kind of effort Mike Shanahan has not been getting from the special teams, and that's why you bring a veteran back like Burns.
Burns is in Chicago's camp, was cut, and was waiting for the call from Denver. Second down and 9. Moreau again with the fake, and Grbac throws, and it's caught by Gonzalez, who has another grab, his 6th of the day, a gain of 15 yards, and a Kansas City first down. Tackle made by Billy Jenkins.
Remember when you were a kid, the glass packs made the cars sound so loud, and parents hated that. They loved to like stuff a sock in there to quiet them down. Kind of a great muffler. So far, the best muffler that Elvis Grbac has had has been Gonzalez for this crowd. He's quieted this crowd now when they've been buried back twice deep. He's quieted them down with Gonzalez.
6 catches for Tony today. Breathing space for the Chiefs at the 23, first and 10. Grbac down the sideline looking for Morris for the first time today, incomplete. Stride for stride with the rookie out of Jackson State was Terrell Buckley. And Tampa Bay on top of the Jets in a much anticipated game down in Florida. Oakland lost last week to Denver. They lead Cleveland, which won last week against Pittsburgh.
So that last play between Grbac and Morris, it's one thing that's still missing with the young guy. That's the communication and chemistry with his quarterback.
On the 23, second down and 10. And the handoff up to about the 25-yard line on a gain of 1. And Tony Richardson gets the call.
The 2 things you don't want to do with a running play against the Denver defense if you're Kansas City, or heck, if you're about anybody else, you don't want to go sideways because of their speed. With especially their linebacking core, but their defensive line is fast. But Greg Robinson's team reacts so well on defense, you can't hesitate. When you get the ball, like we're talking about the Denver backs, when you get the ball for Kansas City, you got to flat just go get it.
Romanowski stares him down, shy of the 25, 39. Here comes Grbac, and it's intercepted by Ray Crockett. He will fly in for 6. Interception last week against San Diego that Michael Dumas returned for a touchdown. And this year, Grbac has had 3 of them returned for touchdowns, the most in the NFL.
You know, part of that show Crockett's putting on there is just because a little bit of ego, and the other part of the show is for this crowd, because this crowd and this defense live for each other. That was a good play call by Greg Robinson, giving him the blitz, forcing the throw, and unbelievable anticipation by Crockett to set up that interception.
They're going to try for 2. 3 receivers deployed. Farrat throws to Smith, and he is brought down immediately. He didn't get in, and he was tackled on the play by Jerome Woods and Lou Bush. So the try for 2 failed. What do you think of that call?
Well, we need one thing. We know one thing. Denver can't get too close, otherwise they can't score. Look at the anticipation. He came back from behind the receiver, Alexander. Crockett ran out in front to intercept that ball. That was schemed by Robinson and anticipation by Crockett.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. Fidelity Investments. And by Mitsubishi Motors, the 2001 Galant. Wake up and drive.
Ray Crockett just returned his 5th interception for a touchdown of his career. And the Denver Broncos lead for the first time today over Kansas City, 12-7. Dante Hall, the rookie, will take it from the 4 for the Chiefs. A block by Drayton, and from behind, brought down by Darryl Powers, the ex-Redskin, 31. 18-yard return. And Crockett has just given Denver their first lead. Elvis Gerback just threw an interception that Ray Crockett returned, and now here's the subsequent possession by Kansas City.
Well, last week he got his team down 10-zip. Crowd was booing him in Arrowhead. Made a heck of a comeback, but this is not the place to dig a hole.
Mike Cloud on 1st and 10, stood up and brought down. In the middle, Kavika Pittman, Hasselback, and Trevor Price, number 93. And you thought he would be a key for Denver's defense today against Kansas City's line.
Well, absolutely. Because of his penetration, because of his ability to get quick pass rush on Elvis Gerbach. I didn't think Gerbach could be throwing too many deep step-type drops. He'd be doing a lot of quick stuff. And at 6'5", about 300 pounds, I mean, he's bigger than anybody on the offensive line for Denver. But Trevor Price, one of the quality players in the defensive line in this league.
And all kinds of movement before the play had a chance to get going. By the way, you see number 60 there in the middle of your screen for the Chiefs. Donald Willis is now in at left guard. We saw that last week as well.
Prior to snap, false start. Number 68 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Monday on CBS, the final week of Big Brother is here, followed by Everybody Loves Raymond, Survivor, and Family Law. Don't miss it. All on CBS Monday.
I'll be honest, I've been kind of caught up in that whole Survivor rerun, watching them all again. I mean, still not big on the Bucks, but I like the show.
2nd down, 16. Get blocked by the aforementioned Willis, and a pass is caught. Grabbed by tight end Troy Drayton, the ex-Ram, and Miami Dolphin for 11 yards, brought down by Eric Brown, and the gain is up to the 27-yard line.
So, you know, what Elvis Gerbach is going to start seeing a lot of is what caused that last interception. They're going to start blitzing and giving him a lot of exotic looks, a lot of, like, you know, 2-man with 2 guys deep, everybody man underneath, and blitzes from Greg Robinson. Because right now the running backs for Kansas City, 11 carries for 14 yards. That won't sell anybody on respecting your run. I don't care how many are on the committee.
From the 27, 3rd and 5. Gerbach goes intercepted by linebacker John Mobley. A flag is down at the 45. A flag is down at the 45. And it's against the Denver Broncos in pass interference, so wipe the interception away.
Interference. Number 26, defense. That's a 1st down.
That's safety Eric Brown, number 26.
Eric Brown had the coverage, I think, in the back of that play when Mobley came in and makes the interception right in here. Keep an eye on that area. Elvis Gerbach not getting the blitz, but look at the coverage. They are just blanketing the receivers for Kansas City.
On 1st and 10, Tony Richardson fumbles the ball, and it's loose, and appears to be recovered by Denver at the 40-yard line. Another Kansas City turnover. Gerbach has thrown an interception. Tanavaso retrieves the fumble by running back Tony Richardson.
Remember the term we used, Gunther ball, Kevin? The Gunther ball was run the ball, pound it at somebody, and get turnovers. Well, right now, Denver's the one that's pounding the ball, and Kansas City's the one turning it over. strange thing on that play was when the ball came out, it looked like it hit the back of somebody's shoe and went popping straight up into the air.
There's Tony Richardson, who really got his claim to fame as the lead blocker for Marcus Allen.
He has challenged the ruling on the field that this is a fumble.
They want to see if he was down first, or his progress stopped. Did the knee hit?
Ball's out. Nope.
Ball's
sorry.
It's a fumble.
Sorry, Denver ball. Watch the legs. Look at the ball. Now that is clearly, that ball is coming out. That fumble was caused on that tackle. All by Billy Jenkins. Pops that thing out before Richardson hit the ground. This should be a very short review.
The back.
Looks like he's getting ready to start a NASCAR race. Is he a pit boss or a referee? There's the ball. It's coming out. He's not down. That's a fumble. That's a great angle right there to get it from. One more time. From the back. Knees are not down. Ball is out. Squirting.
Denver comes in as the #1 team in the NFL in the giveaway takeaway, and Kansas City comes in as the 4th best in that category. Denver +9, Kansas City +5. The Chiefs led the NFL in the giveaway takeaway a season ago, and traditionally through the 90s by a large margin led giveaway takeaway.
Well, once Tom White, our guy running the pit crew here, got a few looks at that play. He's going to go with the call on the field, you got to think.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. This is a fumble. The ball was loose before he hit the ground. It'll be a first down for Denver. Kansas City is charged with timeout.
Now the Chiefs have 2 timeouts. Denver already took a timeout. Mike Shanahan is going to have his quarterback, Gus Frerotte, taking the place of the injured Brian Greasy. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 40.
But for all the hoopla and happiness here in Denver about that, remember, this Kansas City defense has done a wonderful job of stymieing Denver's offense when it really has had to. A couple trips deep into the red zone twice to cause field goals. They go for 2 from the 2-yard line, and they don't get the 2. I mean, this defense has bowed up quite well, and they've been put in another position where, because of that fumble by Tony Richardson there, they're going to have to bow up again.
Denver comes out, 1st down and 10 yards to go at the Kansas City 40-yard line. McCaffrey is on the move to the bottom of your screen. And Frerotte, with time, hit by Bush, going to the end zone, and not a receiver to be found with a flag thrown. The route was being run down the middle by Rod Smith. They had McCaffrey in the corner. It's a shove, and it's a penalty against the Denver Broncos.
We're seeing more of that this year, but these receivers, both Smith and McCaffrey, are both guys that'll give you a little shot if you're a defensive back.
Well, he pointed to Denver. Let's see which direction he points here.
Illegal contact. Number 21. Defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. An automatic first down.
So he pointed the wrong way.
Yeah. You know, one thing I firmly believe, the more I see it, is you just saw illegal defensive contact on Gunther Cunningham's safety. The result was a 5-yard penalty and a first down. We should do that in the NFL all the way, kind of like college does. You don't pick up the free 50 yards on a long pass.
First down after the penalty on the Chiefs from the Kansas City 35. The pump fake to Davis. And Frerotte throws into double coverage, and the pass is dropped by fullback Howard Griffith. And the Kansas City coverage was by rookie Pat Dennis and by fellow rookie Greg Wesley. They had the matchup they wanted.
Howard Griffith is begging for this ball. Watch how long he looks back and he wants the ball. He wants it now. He wants it more. He wants it worse. Now he's got it. No, he doesn't. He was open for a while. Frerotte took his time getting it to him, and the anxiety about killed him. Or at least it about killed his hands.
He's been a lead blocker, Griffith has, for Jerome Bettis and Anthony Johnson. 2,000-yard seasons here in Denver. 2nd down and 10. Handoff goes to Terrell Davis and brought down by Chester McLaughlin at about the 32-yard line and a gain of 3.
That's a smart move by, I think, the Denver Broncos, easing Terrell Davis into the situation the way they are. Everybody knows about that ACL he had last year in the rehab he had to do, and Mike Shanahan saw him on the Monday night game the first week of the year get that high ankle sprain, and the best way to ease a player back is to ease him back and not put too much of a load on him.
This week, Davis was running with the scout team in Denver practices, and he was Tony Richardson. He was mimicking the Chiefs' offense. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Tony Richardson only hopes he could make as much money as Terrell Davis.
Timeout. Denver.
Denver calls their second timeout. They've got one left. Gus Farad taking the place of the injured Brian Greasy goes to the side.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nortel Networks. We're building the new high-performance internet. And by the Insider Pizza, new from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
After the Denver timeout, it's 3rd down and 7. Broncos lead on an interception by Crockett. It was returned for a touchdown on the Kansas City 32. Travis McGriff is in motion out of the backfield. And the blitz was on. The pass is down the sideline and incomplete. Eric Warfield was covering Rod Smith. And the blitz was hard and heavy by Ron George, who is in on Gus Farad.
Kevin, that's a heck of a guess by Gus Farad, because Gus Farad has no idea exactly where Rod Smith is by the time he hits the ground, and he almost guesses perfectly. A smart play by Gunther Cunningham's defense.
Here's Joe Nedney trying a 50-yard field goal. He's the one who kicked the 33-yard game-winning overtime field goal as a Raider last year in Kansas City. He was 4 of 4 last week. He's 2 of 2 today. It was a bad snap, and the ball is short and no good from 50 yards away. The snap came from Matt Lexus, and the hold by Tom Ruins. A bad snap will cost Denver 3 right there, yet they still lead. After the missed field goal, Kansas City has it 1st and 10. And Gerbach got the snap and fell straight down on what appeared to be a busted play.
It was more of a case almost like Gunther Cunningham's quarterback didn't really get the ball the way he wanted to, and decided the best thing to do was just go down to the ground and not lose it.
2nd down and 10, shy of the 40-yard line for the Chiefs, who get it on the missed field goal. Good blocking, and outside, Tony Gonzalez has had a big day, is brought out of bounds by Eric Brown. Gonzalez has had a wonderful afternoon, picking up 10 yards right there, and he's got 7 catches for the day.
Watch this, a high snap by Lepsis. Ruins the holder. Nedney's the kicker. The normal kicker, Jason Elam, who should be back next week or the week after, is right-footed. Ruin is used to holding for a right-footed kicker. Nedney is left-footed. Things go out of whack. You're doing everything's backwards. It's just not routine, and you can't react as quickly.
Good point. Remember, Elam is injured with a broken back. 3rd down and 1. Hand off to Moreau. Submarine brought down with the flag put down. John Mobley, 51, came in there and brought down the Kansas City rookie. But the flag is down. Thrown by Tom White. I'm assuming holding.
I think it's going to be holding against Donald Willis, that young offensive lineman you were talking about, in from Jeff Blackshear.
Tripping.
Oh, even better.
Number 60. Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Hey, if we're going to do it right.
Hey, you trip them, you clip them, you grab them. They're going to hit your running back or your quarterback. It doesn't matter what you do. Just don't let them hit them.
Kansas City's last 4 possessions: punt, interception, fumble, and now a punt. And Todd Sauerbrunn, who is a number 2 draft choice by the Chicago Bears a handful of years ago, and last week had a 68-yard punt against San Diego. Had been slumping for the first couple games, but kind of came out of his shell last week.
He's got plenty of leg, and as most guys with plenty of leg have happened to him in this league, if you kick him too far, more often than not, they're going to return right back at you for a pretty good distance.
Why don't you keep a track on his hang time here with your watch?
Kind of 1,000 odd,
Yeah.
1,002.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Rookie Delco O'Neal is deep back, and he's going to fair catch it back at the 14-yard line. Flag is thrown. 39-yard punt. 3.5 seconds worth of hang time. Flag at the 29.
There's going to be a hold against Denver, I believe. Two guys working on the gunner were a little bit too aggressive in their technique.
Holding, number 33. During the kick, if he had the distance to the goal, first down.
33 is Jimmy Spencer, and this fall on CBS, the most wanted man in America is innocent. Tim Daly and Michael T. Williamson star in The Fugitive. The chase is on in the most talked about new drama of the season. Premieres Friday, October 6th, right here on CBS.
Well, you know, I don't want to give us away with the one-armed man stuff, but the most wanted man in the NFL right now has got to be Kurt Warner. They got to figure out a way. 41 points now today for St. Louis. Who is going to stop this offense?
And from the 7-yard line on 1st and 10 to Terrell Davis. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning with 1:58 remaining in the first half. Battling a bad ankle, you see Terrell Davis on the sideline. Coming up in the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Jim Nantz, Mike Ditka, Craig James, Jerry Glanville with scores and highlights. A busy day in the NFL. Up next on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Second down and 5.
Kevin, we've had some defensive plays and some blitzes and stuff that'll get Glanville jumping out of his chair at that halftime.
McCaffrey, they've only thrown to him once with no catches from the 12. The rush is on. The pass is caught by Mike Anderson, who lunges ahead, gaining 3 yards on the play. And brought down by Lou Bush. One timeout for Denver. Kansas City has 2.
Yeah, patience and composure are going to be critical for both sides of the ball right now. For all the action, for all the plays, and for all the offense we've seen, especially out of Denver, we've got a 12-7 game. This is a one mistake away from being a Kansas City, you know, a fumble, an interception from being a Kansas City lead.
Shy of the 15, 3rd and 2. Here comes Anderson, and should have the first down. Wrestled out of bounds by James Woods, picking up 3.
And the way Denver and Mike Shanahan and his offensive coordinator, Gary Kubiak, want to be patient and want to be persistent, they run the ball. And the key really for them running the ball down the field, especially in big situations, are Rod Smith and McCaffrey. You see those guys on the outside blocking. They get surface, they block. Unlike most wide receivers, they block. Donnie Edwards, the linebacker, told us yesterday, you know, most guys are just catchers. These guys will actually block you.
Jerome Woods could not stop Anderson on the first down carry. And Farad with the pocket crumbling, got a block and throws up the middle, caught by Mike Anderson. And then Hasty jumped on the pile after the tackle was made by Marcus Patton.
What is
Jerome Woods?
What a security blanket, Kevin, if you're Denver and you're Mike Shanahan, you know you got a kid like this Mike Anderson. Terrell Davis is a little dinged up. All this kid does is he gets the ball and he runs straight up field, run or pass.
Surprised there's not more urgency in the way Denver's executing here?
I really don't think so. Not the way they've executed so far.
2nd and 2 outside the 26. Anderson again. Donnie Edwards is there to make the tackle.
One thing you have to remember, and I mentioned at the beginning of this situation, or this drive, if you will, by Denver, you don't want the big critical mistake in this type of a game. This is not going to be a 35-34 football game. This is AFC West. This is Shanahan and Gunther Cunningham. This is going to be low scoring, and it runs off of mistakes and taking advantage of opportunities. And this is a clear indication Shanahan does not want to give the Chiefs another opportunity.
Chiefs have had 2 turnovers today, but their defense has been stout. They stopped a 2-point try, and on 2 separate goal-to-go situations for the Denver offense, Kansas City's defense allowed only 3 points.
And that's really been the strong point for the Chiefs, has been their defense. Their offense, erratic, is a compliment.
And downstairs to Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot. I'm with Kansas City linebacker Donnie Edwards. And Donnie, you held Denver to just 2 field goals in the half. Are you satisfied with the effort?
Well, we're playing pretty good on defense. They got some plays that are kind of out-scheming us right now, but we're going to work on that right now in halftime.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Back upstairs to Kevin.
Tony Richardson, a touchdown run for the Chiefs, and Ray Crockett intercepted Gerback, returned it for 6 the other way. Broncos 12-7 over Kansas City at halftime. Coming up next, the NASDAQ.com halftime report. After this message and a word from your local CBS station.
The Broncos played on News 4.
An interception return for a touchdown. Denver on top of Kansas City. The Chiefs getting an initial touchdown by Tony Richardson. Let's go downstairs to Beasley Reese.
Coach Terrell looked a little sore at the end of the half. Will we see him in the second half?
Yeah, I think he's feeling pretty good. You know, there's no setbacks, and we'll still switch off Mike and Terrell.
All right, how did Gus Farad play?
He played well. We just couldn't score the ball once we got inside the 5-yard line. I believe we only had the ball 3 different times. We had to settle for field goals and obviously missed that last one. So hopefully we'll do a little bit better in the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Kevin Harlan alongside Randy Cross. Some of your first half thoughts.
Well, I think Mike Shanahan's absolutely right. They moved the ball well and were very effective. Could take advantage of a lot of things. But I want to give credit to Kansas City. Their defense especially was outstanding. And if they can keep figuring out a way to get the ball to Tony Gonzalez, they can put enough pressure on this Denver defense to start scoring some points.
Sauerbrunn has the ball teed up. Our second half is just about underway. Clouds and the snow have gone away. Here's Chris Cole, a rookie from the 3 for the Denver Broncos. And hit by Maslowski and then brought down by Pat Dennis. As the Kansas City special teams come in and snuff out the return by the Denver Broncos, and through 30 minutes of football, here are the numbers.
Well, you can see here from total offense, you got 287 yards. That is not exactly a huge amount. But Denver, as a football team, has been very balanced, very consistent. But I want to tell you one thing, rushing yards, Kansas City, if they can't run the ball any better than that, Elvis Gerbach will throw 2 more interceptions, and they will not be able to score the ball in the second half. They've got to run the ball.
23-yard line, 1st and 10. The fake handoff goes to Anderson. Here comes the hit by Williams. The pass is caught at about the 39-yard line. Grabbed by Smith. Tackled by Jerome Woods. Gain of 15 on the play.
You heard Beasley Reese when he was talking to Donnie Edwards. Donnie Edwards mentioned they were scheming some things and putting them in bad positions. When they do that for Denver, that's formations, that's motion, and they open the holes in the defense. Rod Smith just ran to a spot, and Gus Farad found that spot with the ball.
Farad looks pretty good.
He really does. Looks very, very sharp and patient.
7 of 12 throwing is Farad. Place of the injured Brian Greasy. Mike Anderson brought down by Eric Hicks along with Pat Dennis after a gain of 3. Mike Anderson, who was in the Marines, as we mentioned, back in the first half. And today he has a chance to become the first rookie running back who has ever rushed for more than 100 yards in his first 3 consecutive career starts. He's got 32 yards so far.
But you have to expect Mike Shanahan to feed this running back the ball a lot in the second half.
I'll get out of your way. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 7. Here comes Anderson again. And fumble knocked away by Patton and retrieved by Kansas City and rookie Craig Wesley. And Marcus Patton stripped him of the ball.
There's a flag down on the field.
Flag down. It's against Kansas City. It's a hold at the 45.
Mr. Anderson, you just got a reprieve.
He's been known to fumble.
What, lately?
Training camp.
Oh, okay.
Don't you read those notes they send us?
Most of the training camp notes on Mike Anderson, said will provide great depth on special teams. Right. Nobody expected to see him running the ball.
3rd-team guy. And let's go downstairs to Tom White, our referee here today in Denver.
Holding. Number 75, defense. It's a foul by the defense, and there was a fumble on the play. Therefore, by rule, this penalty will be enforced from the spot of the fumble, and it'll be a 5-yard first down.
We talk about Denver's offensive line and the blocking combination. When a defensive lineman gets called for holding, here's Chester McLaughlin. Watch Chester McLaughlin. He tries to grab the center. That's why he's being called. See the grab? He grabs the center. That's defensive holding. Defensive linemen are taught to do that against this style of offensive play. It was Neal, the right guard, he was holding.
Chiefs have 7 penalties, Denver 3 from the 51st and 10. Rush comes on. Evasive is the quarterback, Farad. Goes outside to the fullback, Griffith, and brought down on the play by linebacker Lou Bush. A gain of 4.
And just another example of not only the pressure and the attacking nature of this Kansas City defense, but something we talked about earlier, and that's the poise. Watch the penetration. Look at Hicks get in that quick working against Lepsis, but Gus Frerotte keeps his poise, keeps his composure, and gets the ball off to Griffin.
Yet he has not gotten it in for an offensive touchdown today.
Well, no, but you got to remember, last time this guy was on a field playing quarterback was for Detroit in the playoffs last year against Washington, and he got pummeled.
From the 46, second down and 6. Flag is thrown, 3 down for Denver. The pass is caught by Rod Smith. He beats Pat Dennis, and downfield he is tackled by Marcus Peck. The game as it stands right now is to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 22, but the flag is on the field.
And the rookie just found out about risk and reward in the NFL and how much faster a pro football moves. He thought he had that. If it was college, he might have had it at Louisiana Monroe, but not here at this level. Gus Frerotte gave him the high heat.
Offsides, number 92, defense. That penalty will be declined. Take the result of the play, first down.
Dan Williams is number 92.
Now watch the anticipation by Dennis. He's jumping, he's got it, I got it, high heat. No, you don't. Bad body position, that's just being a rookie, working against a very physical receiver like Rod Smith.
Dennis was third team in training camp, then they got rid of Dishman, and then he beat out Eric Orfield. Here he starts for a second time.
He's a great story. He's also a guy that covers well and loves to hit.
First and 10 handoff. Mike Anderson brought down by Hicks after he rockets down to the 15 for a gain of 8.
Well, he has no choice. He has got to run the ball like this. He's got to take advantage of this good block, especially by Mark Schlereth at the left guard spot, because he fumbled last time. And when this drive's over, if he doesn't have a couple of good runs, he's got to face Mike Shanahan on the sideline, and he might not give him the ball back.
He's lucky to be here. He's 27. He turned 27 on Thursday, oldest rookie in the NFL. And on second down and 2, that oldest rookie just gallops in for a touchdown of 16 yards.
Well, Mike Anderson, I think Mike Shanahan's going to give you the ball back. You made up for that fumble because you ran north and south. You got a great crushing block by Schlereth and by Tony Jones. You got in the end zone, and you got with the program and gave him the mile-high salute.
Memphis extra point is up and in. Anderson scores for a third time in his NFL career with the mile-high salute. It's Denver 19. Mike Anderson came into today as the NFL's number 2 rusher and back at Tiki Barber with the New York Giants. Giants and Redskins play tonight. Just scored a touchdown. 16-yard gallop in the ensuing kickoff by Denver. Dante Hall from the 3-yard line for Kansas City. He's out of Texas A&M. And he's up to the 26 before he is cracked on the play by 55 Keith Burns. 23-yard return. Mike Anderson, the story, and Denver leads Kansas City. Kevin Harlan, Randy Cross, Beasley reach at Mile High. Denver leading at 19-7. Chiefs, after a Denver touchdown, first down and 10 from the 26 and quickly outside. The first catch today by Sylvester Morris, the rookie from Jackson State. Second time they have thrown to him. It was this kid a week ago who caught 3 touchdown receptions for the Chiefs in the win over San Diego.
That's only the second ball to a wide receiver so far at all by Elvis Gerbach, and everything by Gerbach has been short. There has been nothing down the field. And if you can't run and you're going to dink and dunk, you better have a real good helmet because you're going to get hit a lot.
Outside the 29, second down and 7. Good block by Riley. Down the middle it goes, and it's caught by wide receiver Alexander. Whacked by Crockett. Gain of 4 on the play.
And when this defense starts going like this and this crowd starts screaming and yelling for this defense, it really has to remind you that the unappreciated part of the football team in Denver has been the defense the last 4 years. And here, look at this. Here are the passing zones for Elvis Gerbach. Short to nothing and 1 for 17.
And nothing
down the field.
Worth consequence to Morris.
Yeah, and actually nothing in the middle of the field.
At the 33, third and 3. And Morris was offside. There's the pass. They blow the ball dead, even though the catch is made by Alexander. The rookie jumped. First time he's been exposed to the mile-high crowd.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 84, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
So third and 3 suddenly becomes third down and 8.
And this is the defensive team for the Denver Broncos. I think, in my opinion, they talk about why did Denver win the Super Bowls like they did? Why have they come back the way they did? Terrell Davis has run the ball well. They haven't made mistakes. And this defense has managed to play great in the second half of the seasons. They've done well in.
3rd and 8 from the 28. Time for Gerback. He's got the receiver, Alexander, and off his fingertips, and a flag is thrown. He was covered on the play by Jimmy Spencer, the ex-Redskins, Saint, Bengal, and Charger.
Wow. Punch his railroad ticket. He's also going to get himself a little holding penalty. I think it was an illegal contact down the field.
And a much-needed first down for the Chiefs.
Well, if you can't complete it down the field.
Pass interference, number 33, defense. That's a first down.
Shanahan has said he's seen this before from Kansas. He's throwing it deep down.
Remember, the first play of the game was an attempted long pass to Alexander to stretch him out. Now here's an out and go by Alexander. Not much of a tug, but more of an impede for that penalty.
So in essence, a 23-yard penalty from the 51st and 10 for Elvis. Goes a pass, deflected on the play by middle linebacker Al Wilson. 2nd down and 10. They were going for more.
Yeah, that's when you're a middle linebacker and you take your high five, you take your congratulations, you tell everybody. I meant to do that. I did. Saw the ball being passed, kind of threw his arms in the air and blocked it.
Interesting thing about Wilson, he is playing with a shoulder harness. He separated his shoulder earlier in the season, so his arms can't go up that high anyway.
So he raises his hand, he doesn't raise his arm.
Well, or maybe the good arm. 2nd down and 10 from the 50. And it goes to the rookie Moreau. Corkscrewing his way inside the Denver 47. Tackled by Mogul.
How long, Kevin, how long has this running back by committee, running back carousel been going on in Kansas City?
A while.
I mean, 3.8 by Tony Richardson. He's had some good runs today. That's the highlight of the running game for the Kansas City Chiefs. The young guy, Morrow. Mike Cloud so far this year, 2.1. It's been years. I mean, I want to guess 4, 5, 6 years as running back by committee. It doesn't work. Get one guy and let him be your back.
Look at that, 1.1 per rush today. 3rd and 7 from the Denver 47. Gerback throws a pass. Caught by Morris for a first down as he torches Buckley on the side. It's a gain of 10.
Oh, be nice, Kelly. He didn't torch him. He wore him. Terrell Buckley is all over his back. Look at the young guy out of Jack. He's about to wear himself a 27 coat. That's not a size, that's a person. Whee! You gotta sell tickets for that kind of a ride. But he's a big, young, physical receiver, and I think what he does even best is what you saw him do last week for a touchdown. That's go up in the air and get the ball.
1st and 10 from the 37. Look at the great time for Gerback. Good block by Tate. Dumps it off to Richardson. Gets a block downfield from the tight end, Drayton. And spinning his way to the 15-yard line is Richardson. It's a gain of 22 yards, and Gerback had all day to throw.
And if you're an offense and you got defensive linemen like Mike Lotish making the tackle down the field, you've got the perfect scenario. Look at the pocket that forms. Sort of the old Maxwell Smart bell of protection for Elvis Gerback. Nobody's really coming. He just dumps it off. And here's instinct. That cutback, the average person would say, run well, they aren't. The guy that's a good running back like Richardson, he knows there's nothing inside. That's where he goes.
Neither team has a sack today from the 15. 1st and 10. Gerback looking to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Tony Gonzalez. In his best game of the season, Gonzalez, the former Cal basketball player, slams it over the crossbar, and the Chiefs are back in business.
His best game of the season. So far, he has had what his season has been for 3 games to this point. He came into the game with 8 catches, and he is the featured player, and he is the key to the Kansas City offense, I think, for this entire season. You stress people with this tight end, with these kind of skills, you're going to make life very nice for your wide receivers.
103 receiving yards today for Gonzalez is a career high. And 8 catches, as Randy said. The extra point is up and in. Elvis Gerback throws his 9th touchdown pass of the season. And the Chiefs now trail 19-14. On the heels of a Denver Broncos 16-yard touchdown run by Anderson, the Chiefs take the subsequent drives, 7 plays, 74 yards. Gerbach 5 of 6 on that drive, hitting Tony Gonzalez for a 15-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs now trail by 5 in the kickoff. A solid run taken a yard deep by rookie Chris Cole. Finds a small gap and crawls through, and then rookie Andre Armia takes the tackle. Return of 29 yards.
Watch right here. Here's Tony Gonzalez. There's Bill Romanowski. He told us yesterday, Kevin, you got to get your hands on Gonzalez, and you got to knock him off his track. You can't let him get off free and clean and go into the defensive backfield. There's no jam. He's free. He's clean. It's 6. That's just wonderful execution, I think, by the Kansas City offense. Good play call by Jimmy Ray, their coordinator, and not very good execution by Denver's defense.
On the 28, 1st and 10. McCaffrey, bottom of your screen, has not caught a pass all day until right there. Hasty gets it, but it's a 1st down catch on the quick slant to Ed McCaffrey on a pickup of 15.
Boy, is that a faith pass. That is a faith pass all the way by Gus Frerotte. There are defensive linemen, there's offensive linemen, there's linebackers. People have their arms up, and he just reaches over and almost kind of drops it on a drill point down to the spot where he knows McCaffrey's going to be. And this is a quarterback that hasn't had many reps with the first team. That's very impressive.
98 Pro Bowler McCaffrey. 1st and 10 from the 43. The fake to Anderson. Here comes Frerotte. Everybody bit wide open downfield. Is the running back or the wide receiver Rod Smith. Donnie Edwards makes the tackle. 25-yard gain for Denver.
I'd like to show you a difference between having a Frerotte and having a Greasy. Frerotte completes this pass right here to Rod Smith because he's the underneath receiver and things have been cleared out. Back behind this play, 20 yards down the field, McCaffrey was wide open. He could have had the guy deep for a touchdown, but I think due to inexperience in this system and just wanting to do the easier, simpler thing, he completed the short pass.
McGriff comes in for Smith. 1st down and 10 from the Kansas City 32. Frerotte looking to do second option. Caught by tight end Dwayne Carswell and brought down by Jerome Woods. Gain of 6. No Shannon Sharp.
What an interesting predicament for Kansas City, the Kansas City defense, Kevin. I mean, last time you had Mike Anderson pounding the ball and Gus Frerotte turning around and handing it off. They get the ball back. You're all bowed up for them to pound the ball at you. And it's been McCaffrey and Smith and tight end and half. I mean, they've mixed their play calling up wonderfully.
Outside the 26, 2nd down and 4. Handoff to Anderson, and he is devoured right up the middle by Dan Williams. 4 seasons with the Bronco, now a Chief in a big play, throwing him for a loss of 3.
Nothing hurts more than penetration from a D lineman. Look at Dan Williams. He comes around the center, goes through Schlereth, the arm over, the hop, the go. And that doesn't happen to this offensive line very often. They are not out quick and out body position.
And Frerotte will burn a timeout. He had plenty of time on the play clock, but wants to talk things over with this kind of position in Kansas City territory. Broncos lead by 5. Denver just called a timeout. Part of the capacity crowd here in Denver. I can tell you most are clothed.
Well, you know, that barrel used to be a little bit looser on him. The barrel looked a lot bigger. There was less of him and more barrel.
After the timeout for Denver, 3rd and 8 from the Chiefs. 30-yard line. The pitch out to Anderson. Broken up by Dennis and finally brought down by Jerome Woods after a gain of 5. They're shy of the 1st down by about 3. They're going to try for 3.
Remember the last time they tried this, there was a high snap by Lepsis and bad coordination between Ruin and Nedney trying to get that ball down.
Nedney has kicked 2 field goals already from 22 yards away and from 20 yards away. And this will be a 43-yard try. The ex-Miami Dolphin and Oakland Raiders. The hold by Ruin. It's got the distance. And Denver annexes their lead over Kansas City with 3:56 to play in the 3rd. The snap was right on the money. 3rd field goal today by Nedney. It's Denver 22-14. Broncos have scored on 4 of their 6 possessions today. A field goal moments ago by Nedney of 43 yards. And Dante Hall from the 10-yard line for Kansas City. He'll get a block, get a couple, and take it up on a spin to the 34-yard line. Meslowski do a nice block, 24-yard return. This ball on CBS. Turnovers today. Gerback interception was returned. 26 yards for a Ray Crockett touchdown. Don't give up on the run. From the 34, they do here, right to work Gerback, and he goes deep, and he's got Morris, and he lost it in the sun. He was covered by Crockett, stride for stride, and I really think he lost it in the sun. 2nd down and 10.
Well, part of the chemistry and the communication between a quarterback and his receiver is knowing what shoulder your quarterback's going to try to throw it over when it's delivered. And he goes and turns for the ball, and it's almost like Elvis was expecting him to turn towards the sideline. But that's a real problem. If you look at half this field, it's half light and it's half dark. And right where it's light is right where Sylvester Morris is looking into.
Neither quarterback has been sacked today. 2nd down and 10. And no place to run that time for Tony Richardson as he tried to bang his way up the middle. Then off the bottom of the pile comes safety Eric Brown, getting some help on the play from Pittman.
Yeah, this isn't pretty, and it's not flashy, and honestly, it's not working very well. But Elvis Gerbach cannot afford Jimmy Ray to give up on the run here and just start throwing the ball exclusively.
Richardson only 7 carries and 8 yards today.
Well, he'd be the highlight of the running game.
Right. That's not good. 3rd down 9, Kansas City at their own 35. Good block by Shields, and here's the first sack of the day. Glenn Catrez was in there, a nickel linebacker. Trevor Price getting off Gerback, and Kavika Pittman.
Remember the old movie Blazing Saddles and that term, we don't need no stinking badges? Well, the defense with Denver doesn't respect no stinking run. They're coming after Elvis. This is why you have to be able to run the ball. This is why you don't want your quarterback in 3rd and 10 on a regular basis against an aggressive defense. You can't protect him.
Catrez, his first sack of the season. And the punt by Sauerbrunn as Denver sets up the return. Good hang time. And the rookie, O'Neal, takes it inside the 25, knocked off his horse and brought down by Gary Stills and Mike Meslowski. 46-yard punt with a timeout. After the Kansas City punt, Denver 1st and 10 from their own 22. And here comes the pass by Farrat. The pressure up the middle was fierce. They had Patton and Williams right up the middle. 2nd down and 10.
Well, Denver came into this football game with a laundry list. I mean, the last person that Mike Shanahan wants to see during a game and on Mondays is Steve Antonopoulos, the trainer for the Denver Broncos. I mean, he's had knees, he's had backs, he's had ankles, he's had, I mean, you name it. So far, they've had it.
2nd down and 10. And Farrat finds Rod Smith, brought down by Dennis, close to a first down, swatting at the 32-yard line.
You know, he does. You know, one thing that sometimes comes in handy for him, too, is he's got a really a side-slinging kind of delivery. When you got defensive linemen jumping in your face, trying to block passes, that side-slinging delivery gets around the lineman and enables you to complete a quick pass like that. See, Hicks is up. He's in the direction of the ball in the pass because Farrat brings that thing at about, I don't know, what do we call it, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the ball's coming out?
1st down and 10 from the 32. The pitch out to Anderson. He gets by Wesley. Then he is tripped up by Pat Dennis. Making his 2nd career start today in a loss of 3. We talked to Dennis yesterday, a great young kid. Log on to NFL.com and track your favorite players with up-to-the-minute stats. It's all at NFL.com.
Now, what the Kansas City offense needs to do is decide they're going to be as aggressive as a Kansas City defense. You just saw it, you heard them yell, Dennis, Dennis, Dennis. That's telling the other guys, look, or Wesley's going to blitz. Wesley goes through, he doesn't get him, that rookie misses. The 2nd rookie didn't. Dennis makes the tackle. It's aggressive football.
2nd and 13 from the 29. Blitz is on, good block by Griffith. The pass is caught by Rod Smith. It's good for a first down up to the 47-yard line. Caught down by Jerome Woods, a gain of 18 yards. Smith has been hot. Smith has had a great day receiving the ball.
And what he's getting to is he's getting a quarterback that has confidence in where he is, has confidence in the system he's running, and has confidence in that offensive line to keep the pressure away from him and give him the lanes to throw through.
7 catches, almost 130 yards today for Smith. His 15th career 100-yard game, second this season. On the Denver 47, 1st and 10. Fake to Anderson. He's being chased by McLaughlin, and the pass is downfield and caught by Carswell, the tight end, on a gain of 3. Dennis is there with the stop.
Everybody go left. Dwayne, you and me, we're going to go right. Because everybody on the field is going in the opposite direction, and Gus Frerotte flips it out. And, you know, this doesn't look like much, and sometimes to the, I guess, untrained eye, it might look unorganized, but all that was is about a 78-yard gain. It sets them up in a 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4.
Gonzalez, a touchdown reception for the Chiefs, and a 16-yard touchdown run by Mike Anderson of Denver. It's Denver 22-14 after the Chiefs, and will return to Mile High Stadium after this. Ray Crockett, interception touchdown for the Broncos, 22-14. Denver on top of Kansas City as we begin the 4th quarter. Kevin Harlan, Randy Cross, and Beasley Reese, 2nd down and 4. Denver at the Kansas City 47. Mike Anderson hurdling a defender and climbing close to a first game. And he'll be down close to the 43. Tonight on 60 Minutes, out at Baku, and the former Soviet Union get to be an American boomtown. It's the oil. Find oil and you'll find American oilmen. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
Well, no mystery here. You saw Kansas City's defense be separated a little bit from their yardage by Mike Anderson. 19 for 63, trying to be that 3-time 100-yard rusher, first ever by a rookie. Keep feeding him the ball.
7th play of the drive. The fake to Anderson. Look at the time for Frerotte. Winds up looking for Smith against Dennis. Incomplete. As Pat Dennis, the rookie, is going up against one of the best, Rod Smith. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Gus Frerotte got hammered pretty good right there on that last play. Got up shaking his right arm a little bit. But the reason he took the shot and the reason he stood there long enough to have to take the shot was he thought he had a chance to get this down the field. But excellent angle by the rookie, Pat Dennis. And there's the shot he was willing to take just for the chance to try to compete that ball down the field.
Dan Williams delivered the blow. 2nd down 10. Denver at the Kansas City 42. Quick slant. Dropped by wide receiver Rod Smith, who's had a 7-reception day. Let's go to 5th Avenue in New York, and Jim Nance.
All right, Kevin, just a moment ago, the Jets trailing 10-6 against Tampa. Vinny Testaverde picked off by Rondé Barber. He'll run it back for a touchdown. Bucks up 11. Let's go back to Kevin and Randy. We're holding a cheeseburger for you here in the studio.
2nd time Barber's done that this year, and of course his brother is Tiki Barber, the leading rusher in the National Football League with the Giants.
Well, Barber's also got 3.5 sacks, having a heck of a year. And to respond to Mr. Nance, if Craig James is anywhere in that studio, that's one gone cheeseburger.
We're done. 3rd and 10. Good block by Griffith, and the pass goes to the sideline, but the receiver cut to the middle of the field. Incomplete. They're going to have to punt.
The execution at time by Kansas City's defense has not been good. Donnie Edwards talked to Beasley at halftime and talked about how they've been out-schemed and they've been outmaneuvered. But it seems at critical times in this game, the defense has managed to stop the Denver offense when it really, really had to.
Punting for the first time today is Tom Ruin. Had a punt blocked last week in Oakland. And a high end-over-end punt. Hall will let it bounce. Takes a great Denver bounce. It will die at the 3. And Tom Ruin, who will be wed this December to Olympic swimmer Amy Van Dyken, wins the goal with a 39-yard punt. After the great Tom Ruin punt, it maroons the Chiefs at their 3. The Chiefs today have averaged 1 yard on the ground per carry. 16 carries, 17 yards. 1st and 10. And the handoff will probably carve out perhaps 2. Not much there for Richardson. Second down.
The 5 teams came into today undefeated. There's one thoroughbred in this group. That's your world champions. The St. Louis Rams are a complete football team. Not to say the rest of them aren't. Tampa wants to be, the Jets could be, but right now, the best team in the league easily is the Rams.
Richardson again is inhaled by Trevor Price on the defensive line as the Chiefs, Randy, are beginning for the 3rd time inside their 10 today.
Well, it's loud, it's nasty. I mean, their average field position today has been absolutely pathetic so far. The crowd's been a factor. The Denver defense has been a factor. This running back by committee for Gunther Cunningham has been absolutely no factor.
3rd and 8 from the 5. 3rd consecutive handoff, and again revealing hardly anything right there. Kavika Pittman makes the stop. No gain on the play, and Kansas City is going to have to punt. 3 and out for the Chiefs.
I mentioned when we were away from commercial, if you can't run the ball in this territory, you're asking to have something real bad happen to you in short order. They lost a yard on 3 cracks running it. Get ready for something bad if you're a Chief.
Todd, solid run to punt. The snap is there. The punt is bad. Short line drive, and the rookie O'Neal takes it at his own 44. He's tripped up and brought down by Mike Maslowski. 54-yard punt with a pretty good bounce and a 13-yard return. The former Cowboy, Kavika Pittman, with the big defensive play. With Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan at Mile High Stadium here in Denver. 22-14. Broncos lead. 3 Nedney field goals. A Crockett interception return for a touchdown, and a touchdown run by Mike Anderson. On the Chiefs 42, it's Anderson again, pounding up the middle, and then stopped by Donnie Edwards, along with Dan Williams on a meager gain of 2. 2nd down and 8.
Well, last time Kansas City's defense stopped Denver's offense. This is another situation. Kansas City's defense not only has to stop them now, they've got to get Gunther Cunningham the ball. You're the best team in the last 10 years at producing turnovers. Now is the time your football team needs a fumble or an interception.
From the 40-yard line, 2nd and 8. Anderson couldn't make the block. There's the turnover with the fumble, and it's loose at the 49-yard line. The Chiefs say they have it, and they do. Knocked away by rookie Greg Wesley.
What a wonderful play by Wesley. Watch the blitz coming from the top of the screen. Watch the curly cue. Anderson wants to block him. He gives him the spin move. He chops him. He strips him. And Dan Williams is right there on the ball to scoop that one up. But watch the move on the pass rush. That's a defensive lineman move. I mean, that's a linebacker move. That's something Donnie Edwards and the late Derek Thomas did on a regular basis.
It's the first Denver turnover after allowing the first sack. At the 49, Gerback goes outside. Pass is caught by Cloud. He makes a great move by Wilson. Rambles down the sideline. Has a first down to the Denver 36. It's a gain of 13 yards.
Hey, you know, Kevin, if you're the Kansas City defense right now, you produced the turnover. Now you've got to look there and you've got to tell the Kansas City offense, look, we did our part. Are you a new and improved offense? If you got a little something different than in the past, show us what you got.
All this set up with rookie Greg Wesley. Showing the ball free from Gus Farrar. 1st and 10, Chiefs at the 37. It's Cloud again trying to shimmy his way inside the 35. Mobley with the tackle on a gain of 3.
It almost hurts to watch these cold running backs each come in and try to run the ball. I mean, in sports, I'm going to hammer this point, and I may hammer it again. But nothing by committee works. Decision by committee is pathetic. Running by committee does not work. Sports is made for dictatorships. One guy makes decision, one guy throws the ball, and one guy carries the ball.
Maybe Cloud is ready to grab the throne. 2nd down and 8. at the 35. Good time for Gerback, goes right on the money, and it's caught by Gonzalez for a Chiefs first down to the 23-yard line of Denver. The tackle made by Billy Jenkins. It's a gain of 11 yards.
And Kevin, I left something out. If you're a Kansas City Chief fan, one guy catches the ball, and the one guy catching the ball today, for the 9th time today, Tony Gonzalez gets himself a reception. Came into the game, 8 catches with 73 yards, and eclipsed that early.
He has 9 now, which ties a career high. First down, Chiefs at the Denver 23, set up on a Denver fumble. Blocked by Tate. Gerback moving up, going to the end zone with the receiver incomplete. Looking for Sylvester Morris, covered by Terrell Buckley. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you love the body language of Terrell Buckley. He gets immediately up, complaining a little bit. How come I didn't intercept that? And if you're a Chiefs fan, you watch that play and say, hey, he was pushing him. He was going into him. What's the deal? Defensive backs know how to be a little bit actor and a lot of bit athlete. Watch the end of the play. Terrell Buckley going for the ball.
Great play.
That's a nice play by Buckley, and if that ball's a little higher, Morris out jumps him for a touchdown.
2nd down, 10 from the 23. Gerback hit by Wilson, throws a pass, and it is intercepted by Ray Crockett for a 2nd time today. The question was, did he hang on? And they ruled he did, on the field, at least right now.
You almost had it to Morris with all right coverage, and you still threw it to Alexander with great coverage. Possession was never the issue. He had it with one hand against his chest the whole time. We've seen a great game by Ray Crockett, and we've seen Kansas City's offense honestly not do their part, because Kansas City defense has given him a couple shots.
Well, now the officials are going to huddle themselves back at about the 5.
It's got to do with what you talked about, the possession on the interception. Remember the play last year in the championship game, Tampa and the Rams.
Yeah, an interception in the end zone. He downed himself. This is a touchback. Be a first down at the 20-yard line. Timeout.
So Ray Crockett so far has had a huge day. He's already picked off Gerback once and returned it 26 yards for a touchdown. Here in the 4th quarter with the Chiefs driving, he makes a big swipe of Gerback. After the Gerback interception, 1st and 10 for Denver with the touchback out to the 20-yard line. That ball might be loose. They say it's live, and it is a fumble, and Kansas City's got it. The 2nd consecutive fumble by the Broncos. Hicks jumped on it, and Smith popped it up.
I'm sorry, Kevin. How good is this defense at getting the ball away? Gunther Cunningham and Marty Schottenheimer before him drills and drills and drills. You get it, you strip it, you get the ball free. Question I've got to ask, though, Rod Smith, was he down? Look at Mike Shanahan just threw the red flag out. He's going to challenge that. Was he down before the ball came out?
I think it's worth a challenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Broncos have 2 timeouts, KC with 3.
Shanahan got some good yardage on that.
He did, yeah.
He almost got it all the way to the hash mark. You calling it wind 80?
Wind 80.
Denver has challenged the ruling on the field that this is not a fumble.
There's no doubt he was knocked down when he fumbled the ball, but did he have possession?
Yeah.
And it's going to be close.
It really is something, though, to see the techniques and to see the way that the Kansas City defenders can chop the ball, pull the arms, always find a way to go after a football. He turns, he's got it, he turns to run, the ball's out. That's a fumble. Watch the knee. The first factor was possession. Now let's see where the knee is when the ball comes out. Possession, out, knee down, wow.
I don't think that's a good angle space between that right knee and the toe.
That's pretty close. And I was looking at the left knee, actually. Watch the left knee.
He has possession. Down. That's a fumble.
Yeah, it's a fumble. That ball's out of there. It's a bang, bang. But remember, folks, so let's look at it from this angle, and this is the kind of angles that Tom White's going to be looking at. He's going to judge possession, and where is the ball, and is it out? It's out. The knee's down. that's a fumble. And even if it was close to simultaneous, remember, it's got to be conclusive. It's got to be irrefutable.
Let's go downstairs to Beasley Reese.
Hey, guys, I'm about 12, 15 yards away from the spot where it happened. It looked to me, now, of course, I'm without the video replay, but it looked to me like he caught it, turned to run, actually took a step, and was clearly a fumble to the natural, athletic eye standing down here on the field. I think it was a fumble back upstairs.
A defensive back siding with the defense. Isn't that a surprise?
Again,
Beasley, last week we were in Jacksonville. Beasley was right at the spot of a controversial touchdown and had the great angle and picture.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. This is a fumble. The ball is loose before his knee hits the ground. It's a first down for Kansas City. Denver is charged a timeout.
And now Denver has only one timeout left.
Possession clear. Ball out now. Knee now.
Good call.
Excellent call and just strong defense. You can't talk enough about discipline on the defensive side of the ball when you're taught to do those things, especially you're talking about a rookie for Gunther Cunningham. Pat Dennis is involved in stripping that ball out from Rod Smith, a veteran.
So Kansas City gets it for a second consecutive possession in Denver territory.
And hey, this is clearly a situation for Elvis Gerbach and for this entire Kansas City offense. Hey, what have you done for me lately? Defenses have done their part. Special teams done their part. You got to put up or shut up.
Two tight ends for the Chiefs. Gerbach from the 27. Richardson gets the call. We got a block from Riley and Blackshear. He picks up a yard. That was it.
I think one of the things that makes Kansas City so crazy about having Gerbach at quarterback is the way he just conducts himself in these situations. He throws interceptions, he has bad plays, but Gunther Cunningham knows he's got a quarterback.
2 interceptions today, second down and 9 from the 25. The block by Tate to the end zone and looking for Morris, dueling with Crockett, incomplete. Buckley had been on Morris most of the day. That time they went at Crockett again, who has picked up Elvis, as we just mentioned before, twice.
Watch the arm contact and the bumping, and none of this is a penalty. None of this is a penalty. Keep telling yourself that when he reaches back and grabs the receiver's arm, that none of that is a penalty. You got lucky, Ray. You got lucky.
They've thrown to Morris 7 times today, just 2 catches. On the 25. 3rd down and 9. Blitz is on. The pass broken up again. This time by Jimmy Spencer. The veteran of 9 years, who's the nickelback with another big defensive play.
Veteran, the key term, because what you saw there was a defense. Greg Robinson again attacks Elvis Gerbach with the blitz as the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, and Jimmy Spencer is watching the quarterback the entire way. That's actually a pretty good play by Morris. He's getting an arm in there, so it's not an interception the other way.
So now it's Pete Stoyanovich, who has not kicked a field goal all season. A 42-yard attempt. Sauerbrunn on the hold. And Stoyanovich, who's coming off his worst season as a pro, puts up 3 for the Chiefs, so they get something out of the Denver fumble, but not what they wanted, which was 7. 8:19 to play.
To the offensive line and Gus Frerotte there on the sideline. It's very rare you can say an offensive line can literally take a game and win it. Those 5 offensive linemen for Denver right now can take this football and run away and hide with the blocks they're going to give Mike Anderson. Don't give Kansas City a reason to think they have life.
Kickoff by Sauerbrunn. Rookie Chris Pohl will take it a yard deep for the Denver Broncos. Finds a seam and then brought down by Gracie Walker. Number 27. 22-yard return. And Gus Frerotte in there because of the injury to Brian Griese last week in Oakland. Frerotte starting today. Now let's go back to last week and take a look at the injury to Griese.
He didn't get hammered as much as he got squished right here. Squished, the arm gets tweaked back, and he told us yesterday it's pretty much basically the same injury he had last year that he had operated on this offseason.
On the 21, first down and 10 yards to go for Gus Frerotte. Right to work and outside. Second catch today by McCaffrey, brought down by Donnie Edwards and Pat Dennis, a gain of 5.
And the Kansas City defense knows the strategy of Mike Shanahan in this situation. He wants to go short. He wants to run the ball. They've got to keep being aggressive, keep attacking Gus Frerotte. When you get a chance, keep trying to strip that ball.
Second down and 5 on the 26. Anderson's got 65 yards today and breaks one tackle of Woods, swerves his way to the 45, picks up 19. Patton and Browning make the stop. He's nearing NFL history.
I want you to watch my favorite offensive guard in the league right here, Mark Schlereth. They call him Stinky because people don't like the blocks he makes. Look at him, Dan Williams. He hesitates, and that's right. That's the gap. That's what's created. That crease was created by that attempted cut block. That's the kind of block you hear defensive linemen, they hate it. You know why they hate it? They can't get over and make a play. You don't have to dominate somebody by only hitting them in the face.
45-yard line, first and 10. Anderson again. Little room here. Tackle made by Browning. As Anderson is about 15 yards away from becoming the first running back as a rookie to ever rush for more than 100 yards in his first 3 consecutive starts. He's done it already twice with a good performance of 131 yards against Atlanta, and then last week 187 yards at Oakland.
And he's shown the same types of things here today. It's been harder yardage against this Kansas City defense. They've been tough, they've been physical, but they have to really be careful the backside or he's going to keep gashing them.
Chiefs have 3 timeouts, second down 9. Here comes Hicks, moving up deftly is Frerotte. I think he wanted to bring that ball back. It's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to stop his arm and just couldn't do it.
Now, pretty important 3rd and 8 coming up.
And now you're in Kansas City's wheelhouse. You remember Neil Smith at Arrowhead Stadium for years, that simulated crack the bat home run out of the edge of the stadium, and you're right in their wheelhouse. It's blitz, it's stunts, it's games, it's 3rd and long. This is Kansas City's forte.
Outside the Broncos 45, 3rd and 9. Right, incomplete, looking for McCaffrey, covered by Dennis, and the Broncos have got a punt. The Chiefs have 3 timeouts and just under 6 minutes to play.
Yeah, that's the important part. Last time with that field goal, there was 8:17 left. Now after this incompletion, where the ball just is not quite led enough, or too much lead actually, not put on the numbers to McCaffrey, 5:55, plenty of time. Kansas City's down by 5. It's time for the discipline to start showing in this football team.
Second punt today for Ruin. Chiefs have a rookie back, Dante Hall, who will let this land inside the 10 and kick into the end zone for a touchback. 54-yard punt. Next Saturday on the Home Depot College Football, Heisman hopeful Michael Vick and the Hokies of Virginia Tech take on Tim Hasselbeck and the Boston College Eagles. Or All-America Alex Brown and the Florida Gators visit Wayne Matkin and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Check the games next week in your area.
Tell you what, I would fly to every game Michael Vick will ever play just to get a chance to see him.
Michael Vick.
I think that guy is unbelievable, and he's going to be a great pro soon.
We're back from his own 21st and 10. Great time. He's being chased by Price with no receivers to be found. The coverage was great by Denver, and he picks up only a gain of 3 to Sker back on the scramble as he hobbles back onto the field.
But it's a good game. I mean, they talked about that discipline and the control they had to start showing. That's a good example. You don't stand back there and just go to sling it in somebody's general direction because it's 5.5 minutes to go and you need the points. That's a good disciplined reaction by Elvis Gerbach. There was nothing there. Take the 3 yards. There's nothing wrong with that. It's better than most of your runs all day long.
They've only got 19 yards on the ground. Second down and 7. Gerbach fires a pass and rejected at the line of scrimmage. Mobley and Wilson, they had all kinds of pressure in the face of Elvis Grbac. Incomplete.
That's really too bad because you got to watch Tony Richardson right here on the blitz. Look at John Mobley. Thinks he has him. Richardson, bang, just stones him. And Mobley happens to get the arm up and block that pass. Wonderful job by Richardson. Maybe a little bit lucky by Mobley, but that's something he's taught and he's trained to do.
Elvis Grbac has missed his last 4 passes. Big play here. 3rd down and 7 on the Kansas City 23. His receiver fell, but he makes the catch, and that's Kevin Lockett. His first catch today, he picks up 8 on 3rd down and 7.
Wow, you want to talk about discipline and attention to the detail of your assignment. It's easy to do when you're running full speed and everything's fine and easy. Try doing it when you know you need 8 yards for a first down. You run down the field, you fall down, and Elvis still hits you on that 1 number.
Wonderful presence of mind by Lockett.
And a good adjustment by Elvis.
Absolutely. Kansas State's all-time receiver. 1st and 10 outside the 30. Good block by Tate. There's a pass through the hands of Alexander. He was handcuffed by Terrell Buckley, and that's a penalty flag on the Denver Broncos.
Remember that 27 jersey that Morris was wearing earlier that was legal?
Yeah.
That was an illegally applied 27 jersey by Buckley.
It was drapery.
You just can't put it on the tour.
Pass interference. Number 27, defense. That's a first down.
Hey, that's part of the package you get when you get a Terrell Buckley. He's a man-on-man corner. He's aggressive. He just goes after the ball, goes after the receiver, and sometimes he's going to get burned. He's done a wonderful job since he came here to Denver earlier this preseason.
Shy of the 42, 1st down and 10. Good block by Tate again. Grbac going deep, looking for Morris. He'll overshoot him. And Morris was covered by the nemesis of Grbac all day long, Ray Crockett.
Yeah,
2nd down and 10.
I got to think I'd keep going after Terrell Buckley. Ray Crockett has not been very, very good to Elvis and the Chiefs. You know, not that Buckley's that much of a bonus or that much better, but maybe you got to make him prove to you that he can burn you as bad as Ray Crockett has so far today.
On the ground today, the Chiefs have rushed for 22 yards. 22 yards. 2nd and 10, shy of the 42. Outside quickly, Lockett again, spins into Crockett. As Lockett gakes it out to the 50, picks up 8 yards and about 2 yards shy of a first down.
Be careful with all those Locketts and Crockett's.
Lockett's
going to get you.
Crockett's.
And this is purely a pass pattern as part of an offense that's set up for the rack, the run after the catch. Counting on the fact that a guy like Lockett, who, you know, return kicks, heck of a receiver, can break a block, and Greg Robinson's defender is going to miss him.
3rd down and 2 near midfield. Play action, good block by Moreau. Buying time for Grbac, throws caught by Gonzalez. At the 37, 1st down Kansas City. 13-yard pickup, tackle made by Crockett. And the Chiefs were operating with 3 timeouts. Watch Tony Gonzalez lasso his 10th reception of the day.
Well, it's just nice discipline. We talked about discipline a couple times in this drive already. Discipline by the offensive line, discipline by Elvis Grbac. Wonderful for pass protection by Mike Moreau. Getting up there because Delphia O'Neal was all ready to get himself a sack.
Denver's 37, 1st and 10. Hand off to Richardson, got a great block from Blackshear, and then moves down to the 21-yard line, picking up 16 yards. Mobley the tackle.
I guess if you don't run the ball very well all day long, if you can run it when you really, really have to, it makes it up a little bit, because that was a quality job all the way around by the Kansas City offense.
Well, for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Denver and Kansas City. 60 Minutes will follow, except on the West Coast. Timeout taken by Grbac. He burns the first of his 3. And they're at the Denver 22. As Kansas City just got his longest run of the day. 16 yards by Tony Richardson. Broncos on top, 22-17. Kevin Harlan along with Randy Cross and Beasley Reese. 2:27 to play in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs have trailed most of the game. Alvis Gerback has thrown a couple interceptions, one of which was returned by Ray Crockett for a 26-yard touchdown. Mike Anderson, a 16-yard touchdown run. 3 Denver Joe Nedney field goals. The Chiefs have gotten a career day out of their tight end, Tony Gonzalez. Alvis Gerback with his team at the 22 of Denver with a 1st and 10.
Except for the first drive when they scored a touchdown. This is the best drive for Elvis in this offense. The key, Gonzalez down the seam.
Gerback looking deep, wide open, he's got Alexander, touchdown! 22-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs have taken the lead over Denver with 2:21 to play.
What a nice play by Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator. What did I just say before that snap? The key was Gonzalez down the seam. What do? They run Gonzalez down the right seam, and they run Alexander down the left seam. Crockett can't stay with him. There's no help inside, and it's a touchdown for Kansas City. And the reason there's no help inside is there were 2 guys on Gonzalez.
Chiefs are trying for 2. Denver failed in the same attempt earlier today. Gerback goes outside. Richardson one-on-one with Romanowski. And he hit the pylon. He did not get in. They say his knee hit at the 2. And Bill Romanowski saw to it with a great open field one-on-one duel with Richardson. It's a 1-point game with 2:21 to play.
This is not pretty. This is not your basic form tackle. This is Romanowski getting at least one body part where it's needed to be to prevent a touchdown. Got the helmet, got a foot, and right there, the hand out of bounds. As soon as the hand went out of bounds. One more time, watch the hand. If you don't have to put down the kickstand, you might have a touchdown. But the kickstand goes down first, and then he can't quite get the ball over. See, his intent is to take the left arm and reach it over to the pylon. But in order to do that, he's got to put the right arm on the ground.
The Kansas City Chiefs have scored 9 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. And they just got a touchdown pass to Alexander, capping an 8-play, 80-yard drive.
Watch Tony Gonzalez go down the seam. Romanowski's got him. Al Wilson's got him. There's no help inside. And instead of going to this seam, they go to this seam and get a touchdown.
Spectacular catch in a pool of Denver defenders. Denver with 1 timeout, Chiefs with 2. The kickoff by Sauer, run picked up at the 5-yard line by Cole, who is brought down by rookie William Bartee. His first tackle and a flag is down. A flag thrown at the 24-yard line. And I think it's against the Broncos.
Absolutely, it's against Denver. They're going to start in a hole with 2:11 down and down by 1.
6 Denver penalties, 3 today on the special teams.
Holding, number 88, during the return. It's a 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's rookie Desmond Clark. Well, interesting note. Between these 2 teams, the team to score last has won the last 9 games.
Tells you something about the matchups. The second game last year, 16-10. And the win by Kansas City. They've won the last 2. And this series is something unprecedented to win 3.
Here comes McLaughlin, scrambling as a quarterback for Rock. He's got to get to the 25, and he's belted across the way by Hasty. He's shy, and he did not get out of bounds, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. 9 unanswered points in the fourth quarter by Gunther Cunningham's Kansas City Chiefs, who lead Denver at the 2-minute break. With Ken Bassinger.
Yeah, won herself an Academy Award for that one.
Landon.
I know
You're all over this.
I know, it's scary.
2nd down and 2 after the 2-minute warning from the 22. For Ryan. Hit as he throws outside. Griffith has the first down, wrestled out of bounds by James Hasty. At the 26, Denver is operating with 1 timeout. Take a look at Mike Shanahan. The Chiefs defense has been a big story today. Twice earlier in the game, Denver had goal-to-go situations, and the Kansas City defense limited Denver to field goal try.
There's really 4 plays. This is 2 third downs. They stuffed them and made them kick field goals, and the 2 plays that they somehow, someway, when Gunther Cunningham had to have his signature turnover, they got the turnover.
First down outside the 26. Great time for Farad. Throws low, punt, and dropped by Anderson at the 30. Incomplete pass, 1:48 to play. Chiefs leading here by 1 on a touchdown pass to Derek Alexander. As Tampa Bay is leading the Jets, 2 unbeaten teams battling in Florida and Oakland all over the Cleveland Browns. Looks like Seattle could even up their record. And Green Bay with a nice win today in Tucson.
That honestly is very surprising.
Yeah, it was Tempe. I meant Tempe. 29-3, not bad. And Favre was on target. Second down 10. Farad with the pocket trembling. Throws an interception. Picked off by Marcus Patton. And that may seal it for Kansas City with 1:40 to play.
Make that 5 plays for the Kansas City defense. What a resilient football team Gunther Cunningham has. It's plays like this and it's games like this that can spin seasons around for teams that lost 2 tough games earlier in the year. Watch Marcus Patton. He's right here in your screen. The whole way, ball's tipped. It's a gimme. It's a layup. How can he not catch it? But you know what? They have found a way to get the ball and take it away from the Denver offense.
3 turnovers by Denver, all in the second half, and here comes Richardson. He turned one over earlier today. Pounding up the middle, and Denver looks like they may take their final timeout.
It just sort of flutters, and it breaks, and it goes right into the arms of Marcus Patton. You know, Elvis did not play well earlier this game. He had 2 interceptions. He led the drive they had to have. And now he's got the job of finishing this thing off for this football team.
Last year's defensive MVP, Marcus Patton, with a huge interception. His first of the year. And like we said, Denver's turned it over 3 times today, all in the second half. The Chiefs, who swept the Broncos a year ago, are looking to even their record this year to 2-2 in their 40th and final visit to Mile High Stadium. But the defense has been absolutely spectacular.
And it's something that Mike Shanahan is not used to seeing his football team do. And Brian Griese not being in the game, you know, honestly is a factor. But they do not turn the ball over here in Denver. That's something that Kansas City does, is Kansas City produces turnovers.
The rookie Frank Moreau takes it right there. Denver's out of timeouts. Clock continues to tick. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. Coordinating director is Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Bob Dekas, also the producer of the last 17 Final Fours on CBS, and directed by Mark Grant. Senior producer of the NFL Today, Eric Mann. Directed by Bob Matina. Special thanks as well to Steve Karasek, Jason Ross, and Jeffrey St. Armand. Technical manager today, Rick Godwin. 3rd down 7, and Richardson busting free inside the 10. And the Chiefs have come to Denver and beaten one of the hottest teams in the NFL, the Denver Broncos.
What did Kansas City have? 17 carries for about 20 yards until Richardson pops these 2 big runs late.
That 16-yard run in that last, what might be the game-winning drive, was huge.
That's a heck of a deodorant for a garbage pan running game, but the story really is Gunther Cunningham's defense. They're doing the things that he trained them to do, and that Marty Schottenheimer trained them to do before that. That's get the turnovers. In spite of everything else happened, you keep producing the ball, you're going to win ball games.
Well, the Chiefs have labeled this a transition season. They start 3 rookies on the team. And today, Mike Shanahan losing to Gunther Cunningham. The Chiefs win it 23-22 and come